T20 test on one day. India, England, Australia. A four-up lucky big three-side slayer. What a player! What a player! What a player! Discussing zinger bells and white balls to hells. Bagging greens for long from New South Wales. Is the RPL heaven or hell? Will the 100 fail or do quite well? What a player! What a player! What a player!
We are at the business end of this World Cup T20. Four exciting teams who've done really well, have made it to the semi-finals. Unfortunately, there is no India, so heartbreak for a lot of people. But the best teams have made it through. From Group A, you have England and Australia progressing with 4 wins each. England topping the table with the best run rate. 3 teams ended up in 8 points in the Group 1. South Africa unfortunately missed out by a slim margin, but they were the underdogs and they literally outperformed everyone's expectation. In Team 2, where India were supposed to be in an easier group, unfortunately could only win 3 matches. New Zealand won 4 matches and Pakistan, believe it or not, won all 5 games. So we have semi-final number 1 between England and New Zealand, and semi-final number 2 between Pakistan and Australia. I have Suman with me. Suman, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. थोड़ा सा disappointment है इंडिया के बारे में, but then look, I have my second best team Australia in semi-finals, and we're looking forward for them performing well now.
So पहली सेमीफाइनल की हम बात कर लेते हैं. This is a repeat of the 2019, the famous ODI World Cup final, England versus New Zealand. इतने दिन से हम सुपर ओवर कर रहे हैं, मुझे लगता है इस बार सुपर ओवर हो ही जाएगा. But jokes apart, this is played at Dubai. Again, day-night game. England on paper, I would say, is much stronger. They have got injury concerns. Jason Roy बाहर हो गए हैं. They already do not have Timal Mills who's gone out. तो आपको क्या लगता है? Just in terms of on paper, England much stronger, but New Zealand, every time we underestimate them, they come up with a brilliant performance.
हाँ, absolutely. ये गेम तो अबू धाबी में है, so it's a big ground. So पता चलेगा. New Zealand has experience of playing here in the round robin stages. It should be a good game. It should definitely be a good game. New Zealand will definitely want to give their best, but England ticking the boxes from a form point of view, players point of view. They have the momentum, as they say in T20 games. So hopefully, it's not a upset. If New Zealand wins, it will be an upset. But if England wins, it will be expected. All roads are leading to England being favourites, but I don't think New Zealand will go down without a fight.
बिल्कुल, उन्होंने almost 6 bowling options लिया है, and it sort of worked out. These 140-150 games, I think that suited them well. But मुझे लगता है अगर high scoring game हुआ, तो England will have an upper hand. और जिस तरह उनकी batting चलती है, there's no breaks in there basically. Everyone comes, just tries to keep hitting the ball. Even if they get bowled out for whatever in 17-18 overs, they will not stop. So from that perspective, मुझे लगता है अगर low scoring हुआ, so New Zealand may have a better chance, but England looks like all bases covered.
मुझे तो रिवर्स लगता है संजय. अगर आप पिछला मैच इंग्लैंड वर्सेस साउथ अफ्रीका का गेम देखोगे, काफी हाई स्कोरिंग गेम था and England fell short. So अगर low scoring game है, so I think England will have an upper hand because, as you said, the brand of cricket they play is they get off to a flyer and they get to 100-120 quite quickly. But अगर New Zealand, if possible, bat first on a knockout game and put over 180, it's game on for England. I think 180 plus will definitely test them, and if they do win, chasing 180, they're deservedly going into finals. But if England bat first, yeah, they'll definitely look to put up a big score. Liam Livingston looked like in fantastic form in the previous game versus South Africa. He's due for a big one. Jason Roy is injured, so yeah, somebody needs to step up. Owen Morgan is due for a big one. He has two more chances. Otherwise, his fate will be sealed like Virat Kohli. I mean, unless he wins a T20 World Cup as well, Owen Morgan will probably be the greatest wild ball cricket captain ever in England produced. But we will see. It is game on if it is a high scoring game. If it is low scoring, I would think England has a chance.
Owen Morgan, I remember उन्होंने recently interview किया on because that famous 2016 final, someone asked him कि what he could have done differently. He said that कि अगर मुझे फिर से वो चीज करना तो I would have probably slowed the game down as much as possible. So that's what he tried to do when Aiden Markram was going berserk during the penultimate or the last game in the league phases. So it'll be great for Owen Morgan, but yeah, do not count New Zealand out. In Williamson, they've got the best captain probably and the best batsman going around, and him and Guptill would probably be the key players. और उनकी bowling जो है, that's deceptively very good. Bolt हैं, Saudi भी wicket ले ही लेते हैं. Sodhi and Santner have performed really well. So I think it should be a good contest. That's what I think. But yeah, I personally think England's got an upper hand, and because India is already out, so I'm backing England. Home country में है तो उनको support मैं पूरा करूँगा. अगर इंडिया के साथ होता तो then I would have won the Indian flag against England. But that's the first semi-final. दूसरा semi-final, mouth-watering, Pakistan versus Australia. Reminds me of that 2009 semi-final जहाँ last over में कुछ crazy number of runs चाहिए थे और सईद अजमल को जो माइक हसी ने धड़ाधड़ छक्के पे छक्का मारा और उधर ही उनका वर्ल्ड कप खत्म हो गया. So I don't know whether that'll be the case, but this Pakistan side looks unlike any Pakistan side we've seen in the past. Pakistan हम generally सोचते हैं कि ये एक दिन यहाँ से इस करोड़ उठेंगे तो ऐसा परफॉर्म करेंगे, इस करोड़ उठेंगे तो एकदम खराब परफॉर्म करेंगे. But this looks like Australian side of the old. Everything seems to be going perfectly well.
Yeah, this will be an interesting game. Hopefully the law of averages does not hit Pakistan, which is what likes of Shoaib Akhtar and all the Pakistan greats are worried about. Ki 5 out of 5 in the league phase and knockout match mein agar they end up making mistakes, it will cost them dearly. So, but Pakistan are clear favorites, and I'll tell you why versus Australia, even though they are strong. If you look back Australia, and even though I support them as much as I support India, their performance has not been up to the mark in this T20 tournament. Right, their wins have been scrappy wins. They have been winning, very. It's not have been comprehensive win. So, if they end up winning versus Pakistan, I feel they'll go all the way and win the World Cup. And then if you compare back, say in England or Pakistan versus Australia, people might question saying, "Ki, are Australia deserved winners?" But hey, guess what? On a given day, they have put up the performance and won. But definitely, Pakistan are the clear favorites, but Australia will have a point to prove. David Warner's form, he's speaking at the right moment, and we all know how dangerous Warner in a T20 game can be if he goes unleashing. So it should be a fantastic game.
बिल्कुल 2010 में इंग्लैंड जीती थी T20 वर्ल्ड कप. 2009 में पाकिस्तान जीती थी. ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने कभी T20 वर्ल्ड कप जीता नहीं है. न्यूजीलैंड ने भी कभी कोई ICC वर्ल्ड कप नहीं जीता है. They won a Champions Trophy. And one of the stats I was reading is, and it's just a stat, is that none of the World Cup winning teams, T20 World Cup winning teams, have ever had a full run of victories. So they've lost one game or the other at some point in time. So this will be interesting, but I think Pakistan are clear favorites. One is because UAE में तो हारते ही नहीं है. This is effectively their home ground. And come Thursday, 11th of November, Dubai में 99% you will see Pakistanis. This is completely Pakistan dominated city, and that will be completely green on Thursday. मुझे लगता है ये जो वहाँ का effectively pre weekend जो है, this will be fantastic for them. और जो support उनको मिलता है, that will probably propel them through to the final. मुझे लगता है Australia will have to play out of their skins. Although I must say कि ये जो बाबर आजम और रिजवान ने जो थोड़ा टॉप हैवी मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है, the middle order probably is not being tested compared to say Australia, सुमन, जहाँ ऐसा लग रहा है मिडिल ऑर्डर में भी थोड़ा थोड़ा सबको चांस तो मिल ही गया है, although they might not have done as well as they would have wanted. फकर जमान वहाँ है, थोड़ा हफीज ने रन नहीं बनाया, बट अगर टॉप ऑर्डर चल गया एंड ऑन अ गिवन डे आई थिंक पाकिस्तान will take down Australia.
आपने शायद पिछले मैच में शोएब मलिक का परफॉर्मेंस नहीं देखा, वरना आप ये कमेंट नहीं करते कि मिडिल ऑर्डर को टेस्ट किया नहीं गया था. शोएब मलिक scored 18 ball 50, which is probably the fastest along with KL Rahul. And even Hafiz had good sporadic contributions. I think the only weak spot for Pakistan will be probably the fielding department, because if you look at their bowling is watertight, and I strongly feel I think they have the best batting lineup after England in the entire tournament, right from number 1, number 2 till number 5, and their all-rounders maybe kafi hai depth. So I think they will be fine from a batting department. Shoaib Malik was man of the match, and उनको देखा भी गया तो पिछले 5 matches में they had 5 different people getting the man of the match awards, which clearly goes to show that players are showing up when they really want. So I think that's sign of any winning team. Any World Cup games, tournaments आप देखोगे, yeah, there were individual brilliance about one player picking up the momentum, but the teams who had majority of the players contributing, especially in the second half of the tournament, they go all the way. So yeah, Australia have a task cut out, but hey, guess what? Pakistan have to still win the game for them to go to final. So it'll be a good contest.
एंड एक्स SRH कैप्टन डेविड वार्नर एकदम फॉर्म में लग रहे हैं. हमने फर्स्ट गेम प्रीव्यू किया तब मैं बोल रहा था कि लग रहा है मुझे फॉर्म में आ जाएंगे, और बिल्कुल फॉर्म में आ गए, एकदम समय पे आ गए. दे सीम टू बी द टीम विच इज स्पीकिंग एट द राइट टाइम. 2 मैचेस जल्दी उन्होंने खत्म किए, रन रेट अपना अच्छा कर लिया. थिंग्स सीम टू बी कमिंग इनटू प्लेस. जैम्पा ने ऑलमोस्ट एक हैट्रिक ले लिया. फास्ट बॉलिंग डिपार्टमेंट अच्छा चल रहा है. जॉश हेजलवुड बढ़िया बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं. Fifth bowling option thoda maybe it might be dicey, but they can easily beat Pakistan on their day. All they need is Finch and Warner to fire probably, or even Maxi show.
Aussies play smart cricket, and we'll give you an example why they are smart in that group. Australia and South Africa won the exact same number of matches. But where South Africa missed the plot is that game against Bangladesh, where they had opportunity to finish the game earlier, but they decided to settle for 2 points than the run rate. Whereas if you look at Australia, the last 2 games especially, they went after the bowling. And even for that matter, Finch and Warner wanted to get through as quickly as possible to the targets, because they knew run rate will come into play. So from think tank perspective, I think Langer and co will definitely be prepared for Pakistan. They will play smart cricket. They will not give up. We all know Aussie grit. They will not give up till the last ball. So it's testing period for Pakistan. Pakistan also have a work cut out, right? It's not an easy semi-final which they're going to play. Even if they win this, they are potentially looking at playing either versus England or New Zealand, and both of them can give run for their money for Pakistan.
बिल्कुल. T20 में तो एक भी बल्लेबाज या एक भी गेंदबाज का दिन आ गया तो आप शाहिन शाह अफरीदी अगर 3 विकेट ऊपर से ले लेते हैं, आई थिंक दैट्स प्रीटी मच गेम डन. और उसी तरह अगर बैटिंग में कोई बहुत ही धमाकेदार ऑस्ट्रेलिया से परफॉर्म कर दे या पाकिस्तान से परफॉर्म कर दे, सो इट्स द शॉर्टर द गेम द लेस चांसेस of an upset. More chances of an upset, but it'll be interesting. I'm hoping it's a good game because we've seen so many one-sided games. At least knockout में ऐसा कोई गेम हो जो सालों याद रहे, जैसे वो 2009 वाला सेमीफाइनल हो, या फिर पहले भी हम देखे हैं 50 ओवर वर्ल्ड कप में जैसे सेमीफाइनल हुए हैं 99 में. तो ऐसा कोई गेम हो तो मजा आ जाए, वरना तो यार मैं बहुत ही डिसअपॉइंटेड हूँ. बहुत लो स्कोरिंग गेम्स हुए हैं. तो I think I'm very hopeful these will be good games. Suman, before we wrap up, your prediction, who are playing the finals?
England and Australia.
I am going with England and Pakistan. मुझे लगता है this seems to be everything's come into place for Pakistan. I think I'll be so looking forward to England versus Pakistan after all the recent events and whatnot. And maybe Australia ने एकदम उनको timely ये भी announce कर दिया है कि हम आपके यहाँ मार्च में आ जाएंगे टूर करने, तो प्लीज जैसे आपने बाकी लोगों को पीटा है हमको मत पीटिए.
But सारे पाकिस्तान fans तो इंग्लैंड न्यूजीलैंड या पाकिस्तान न्यूजीलैंड के prediction में रहेंगे because of the recent events. But yeah, eventually it should be good one. And आपको क्या लगता है who will be the impact players across all 4 teams? Any surprise packages?
मुझे लगता है मोइन अली, if they go with मोइन अली as an opening batsman for England, या फिर बेस्ट, दोनों में से एक तो ओपन करेंगे मुझे लगता है. So that's one. And Pakistan se I think there's something which my favorite player is still to do, Fakhar Zaman. I think he'll probably come into the power play and blast a 50 60 or something like that. So those are the 2 players. So mujhe lagta hai Imad Wasim, if there's a 30 ball 40 50 required, I don't underestimate him. I think he's a very good bat. He might do well. न्यूजीलैंड से तो मुझे अनएक्सपेक्टेड क्या कहूँ, मुझे लगता है विलियमसन खेलते हैं तो their team looks a completely different level, और उनके impact player would be Guptill, I would think. अगर Guptill अच्छा start दे दिए तो their team will look much better. Australia से I think it's Mr. Warner. If Mr. Warner fires and like he used to do in the past 2016 season जैसा कुछ किया तो वो भी easily ये match निकाल देंगे. So I think everyone's got a lot of match winners. New Zealand on paper, you may think that they haven't got enough match winners, but I think they've got a well-balanced side. Left arm, right arm, leg spin, left arm spinner, off spin, सब कुछ है उनके पास. So I think anyone can win. It's so difficult to predict, but my gut feeling is England, Pakistan, and then from there, I think England will probably beat Pakistan on the day. But we will see what happens. There is a
और आपने छुट्टी ले रखा है सेमीफाइनल्स
की मैंने छुट्टी ले ली थी, लेकिन जैसे ही पता लगा कि इंडिया बाहर हो गई है तो मैंने अपनी छुट्टी कैंसिल कर दी. तो मैं स्कोर फॉलो करूंगा और थोड़ा देखते रहूंगा, बिकॉज ऐसी छुट्टी इंग्लैंड न्यूजीलैंड के लिए मैं नहीं बर्बाद कर सकता. बट I'll keep an eye on the proceedings. So we will see what happens, and we'll do a preview of the finals as well, and we'll take you through the final on Sunday. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Suman, thanks a lot for your time. I know it's very late back in India. Hope you're having a good time in India, and we'll be back in the States in time for the final to do all the previews, mid innings, and the reviews.
Yes, thanks for watching, Sujay, and see you later. Enjoy the rest of the World Cup.
Thank you, guys. We'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.